And so, I'm reviewing the MCU. All of it. Start to finish. I'm going through the series in chronological timeline order, not release order. Why? Because I felt like doing it that way, and it's fun. Anyway, expect one of these every day or two, building up to the theatrical release of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I may even throw a few quote-unquote non-canonical Marvel movies in there too, just for shits and giggles. Anyway, we'll see. Today, it's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, an adaptation of the cult comic book series Master of Kung Fu. This introduces Asian mysticism and myth into the MCU with a martial arts fantasy adventure. It stars Simu Liu as the title character, along with Tony Leung as the Mandarin, for real this time. The movie also stars Awkwafina, Manger Zhan, Benedict Wong, and Michelle Yeoh. It was directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. Let's take a look.
But I could never escape his shadow.
My son, you can't run from your past.
Is this what you wanted?
I'm gonna be honest. I think I like this better than Black Panther. I'm not saying it's a better film. Artistically speaking, like most Marvel product, and yes, I am calling it product because that's what it is. Product. And I would also call it content because that's also what it is, but content somehow sounds more pretentious or more stupid. I'd rather be straightforward and call a spade, so yes, these are products. And so, I'm not saying this is a better movie than Black Panther. Objectively speaking, it's probably on a par, and being there are no political elements to it, I'd probably say it's less socially significant or important or whatever Black Panther claimed to be or maybe was or whatever. But my point is, I enjoyed this more. It feels, even if only superficially, like something I haven't seen before, and I appreciate that. It is, yet again, an MCU-engineered window into another culture, in this case, Chinese culture. More specifically, it is a kind of Chinese fairy tale, a myth, if you will, about a long-lost prince, his connection to a kind of dark king, and a mysterious lost city of legend. On the one hand, you get a chop-socky kung fu movie, sure, but you also get a big epic fantasy with mystical creatures and mirth and magic, and a climax involving two giant dragons engaging in battle as they soar across the heavens. Simu Liu makes a solid impression as the title character, that is to say, he's perfectly fine. He's a handsome leading man, and he's generally likable in an inoffensive and safe way. He's also kind of bland, to tell you the truth, and a great many of his scenes are spent in the company of Awkwafina as the female sidekick, and she is very charismatic and fun to watch, and kind of blasts him off the screen whenever she's next to him. She's the funny best friend character, not the love interest. Point of fact, there is no love interest here, not in the traditional sense. This was the source of controversy. Of course it was. It's always something, and in this case, that's what it was. You had people saying, as I am, that it was refreshing to eschew traditional love interest tropes / damsel in distress nonsense that so often is the purview of these things. And then, in another camp, you had people saying that this is actually a bad thing, that Awkwafina wasn't made the love interest, that she wasn't made the love interest very insidiously and deliberately so, because she doesn't conform to traditional standards of beauty and whatever, just go take a Xanax and leave me alone. Or you know what, take 25 of them because I don't think I want to hear you talking ever again. But anyway, leaving aside all forced polemic nonsense, Awkwafina is great. And personally, I think she's very attractive, and I also think it's good the film didn't need to put a traditional romantic conflict at its center. It gave them more room to explore the more interesting conflict of broken familial bonds between a father and his son, an ancient love story steeped in tragedy, and it gave them more opportunities to showcase Tony Leung in his first major Hollywood role as the Mandarin, a very magnetic, charismatic screen presence. Tony Leung, above all else, steals this movie. He's terrific, and I hope we see more of him and this character in future MCU adventures. So that's what I'll say about this movie. It's quite good. It's fun. There's lots of imaginative action on display, great visuals, good, likable characters, a couple of fun surprises, including the return of a somewhat polarizing supporting character played by a wonderful actor, but I'll keep all this under wraps to not spoil the surprise, since this movie is relatively new as of this taping, and maybe you don't know. And that's it. A good, fun movie, and with a compelling enough and isolated enough central premise and storyline that maybe you don't even need to be an MCU faithful to enjoy it. Maybe you can just pick it up and throw it on. And maybe you should. Hey, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel and share the video. There's going to be some cool stuff coming to the channel, so you're going to want to keep track of it, and I hope you like all that stuff too. See ya.